I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting not live from Ajijic, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. On the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, we bring to you the joys of living in Mexico, all over Mexico. Guadalajara, Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, Ajijic, Chapala. We try to bring it all to you. It's a little cloudy and windy here today, so you're going to pick up some wind. My mic is picking up some wind, and it's the end of June. It's about 60 degrees, but this is Ajijic. It's the best climate in the world. Today we're going to talk about safety in Mexico. I have a friend in Columbus, Ohio. I've known him for 40 years. He has a girlfriend that's a millionaire, and she won't come down here. She's scared. But I've been here for 17 years, and I have never personally experienced any form of crime. I've never been robbed. I've never been attacked. I've never experienced any danger. But I'm going to share with you 5 things that I have heard about or friends have gone through, just to share with you what can happen to you in Mexico, though I've been here for 17 years and I have never had any experience with bad things happening. You want to watch the entire video, because at the very end I'm going to tell you about a 70-year-old friend of mine who was robbed in downtown Guadalajara in broad daylight at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in a very public place, and it could have all been prevented. Now, we may as well just talk about 2 really bad things that happened, and you may have heard about them, you may have not. But at one time, about 10, 15 years ago, the entire city of Ajijic was taken captive by the narcos. You couldn't leave your house, you couldn't leave town unless you gave the narcos money. Ajijic was shut down. They were controlled by the narcos. You can look it up. I think that's one of the biggest disasters that ever happened to expats in Mexico. The other big major thing that happened maybe 10 years ago is about 30 college students were murdered and buried in a mass grave, but that was at the directive of the mayor's wife, and it was a total disaster. But generally speaking, that never happens down here. I'm going to go through 4 or 5 things that friends of mine have experienced that involved crime, but nothing has ever happened to me, so here we go. When I lived in Vallarta, I met a woman named Catherine, and we went out a few times. She was a former Playboy bunny from Illinois. She moved to Los Angeles, hit it big. She lived with Hugh Hefner for a while, and then as she got older in her life, she ended up living in Puerto Vallarta. So she was renting a 4-bedroom house. Sometimes she rented out the rooms like an Airbnb. And we went out a few times. Then I moved away from Puerto Vallarta. And then years later, I read a news article that she was missing, and her family was looking for her, and no one ever saw her again. The last time we went out, she was complaining because she had some arguments with the drug dealers on her street, and shortly after that, she totally disappeared. Here in Ajijic, about a year ago, it's almost a mile away from where I'm standing here on the Malecon, a restaurant owner right down the street from Walmart at 7:30 in the evening, got out of his car to go into his restaurant. His wife and his kids were in the car, and he was robbed and shot to death. Of course, what happened? What was the relationship between the robber and the restaurant owner? What was going on there? But that happened about a year ago. When I lived in Chapala, I used to walk 4 miles every morning, and we'd walk all through Chapala, through the park. It was a beautiful walk, watch the sun come up. But one day, about a 1/4 mile from my house, it was a Saturday morning, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard gunshots, and I'm not used to hearing gunshots, but this was clearly gunshots. Bam, 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 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't think anything of it, and I went back to sleep. We go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. That's Chicago time. And we have people from all over the world that talk about the joys of living in Mexico. So click the subscribe button so you get a notification when we go live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central. Later that morning, I woke up, went for my walk, and I left the gated community that I was in. And a half a block from there, the streets were all blocked off. It was surrounded by police. It ended up that 3 young Mexican men had been shot to death. And this was about a quarter mile from where I was living. Ends up that the 3 young men were buying drugs from narcos. And they weren't polite to the narcos. So the narcos killed them. All 3 of them. Now, I'm about a half a mile from Walmart, and it's your typical Walmart. There's a big, giant parking lot, and people regularly get robbed in the parking lot at Walmart. It's kind of hard for me to understand. It's like, I mean, I've lived in New York City, I've lived in San Francisco, I've lived in some of the biggest cities in the world, and I know how to watch my back. And when I go to Walmart, I look around. I just look around and see who's there. Wherever you are, if you're in New York City, if you're in San Francisco, if you're in Walmart in Ajijic, you got to look around and see who's there. I mean, it's a big parking lot. Park in a secluded area where there's no cars and look around and watch your back. Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us about the videos you would like to see. And if you like this video, please click the like button. And we have many more videos to come. So think about clicking the subscribe button. Okay, now, this is my final crime story. My cousin now lives in Ajijic. She has a friend, and they both taught at a all-women's college in Saudi Arabia. And her friend was from Oklahoma. She's like 70 years old. She was Mother Teresa's personal photographer. And she even has a book that she has published about all these pictures of Mother Teresa doing this, doing that. She was a famous photographer. So my cousin and her went to the main cathedral in downtown Guadalajara at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, broad daylight. And she had on her grandmother's golden necklace, and she had a big golden wedding ring on with diamonds. So 3 guys came up to her, 2 of them held her, the 3rd one threw her to the ground, broke the golden necklace off of her neck, and then they ran into the church and left her with a bloody head in the plaza at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. I mean, the plaza was packed with people. Nobody did anything. No one chased the criminals. Now, I have a $5,000 watch. It's gold. I never wear that thing anywhere. I mean, it's just advertising. Come take my stuff. Okay? So don't wear expensive stuff. Don't walk around looking like you have just stuff to be taken. This is Mexico. There are people here that want and need money. So don't be an apparent target. So it's a little rainy this morning. It's a little chilly. It's cloudy, and we have some wind here. So I'm sure you've heard some wind blowing through my mic, and I apologize. But as far as my safety in Mexico, in 17 years, I have had no problem. Though I'm 6 foot tall, I'm thin, I'm athletic, and I'm taller and bigger than most of the Mexican people. So maybe that's why nobody messes with me. But it's like being anywhere. Watch your back and don't do stupid things. Don't go out and get drunk and be by yourself at 3 o'clock in the morning in a back alley. Certain things, just don't do it. Be safe. And as long as you cover basic safety rules, Mexico will treat you very wonderfully. Thank you for watching so much. Crime is really not that much of an issue in Mexico. It's far safer than the United States. So come on down, take a vacation, move down here, save a lot of money. I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. Thank you again for watching. Hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.